All right, vlog day number 2. We're gonna go through some of my favorite back exercises. We actually have a special guest today. We have Samantha Jo Fitness who will be joining us in our back day. She is currently foam rolling over there in the back corner preparing for our back day. So once she makes her way over, we will give you an introduction to Samantha Jo, and then we'll lead into our first exercise, which is gonna be our lat pull down, and we'll go from there. All right, we have Samantha Jo here with us. I want to apologize, first of all, for the sound quality. My mic ended up breaking, so we do have a new one coming, so bear with me with the mic and the sound aspect of things. But Samantha Jo, she's one of our lead trainers here at DeMello Fitness. She just competed at her first show back in November at one of London's or Ontario's biggest shows, placing second. I'll pop a picture up here for you so you can see what she looked like on stage day. And now we're gonna start her off getting ready for nationals. We're on off season right now, leading into prep probably around August, and she'll be competing October
4th or 5th.
October 4th or 5th. So yeah, we're gonna do a whole prep series with that. So it's gonna be a cool video, a vlog that we're gonna do just strictly on prep and Samantha's prep. So Sam, go ahead, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Been training here at DeMello's for just over a year now. I love it. It's home. Feels really good to find a place where I fit in and have a team that supports me and helps me through prep and everything. So it's been an amazing experience, and this is going to be a cool little project too to kind of work on and get out all the kinks, get more comfortable behind the camera, and especially for when we gear up for prep. So.
Absolutely. And Nick Twum also is one of the coaches that helps me. Me and Nick are both Sam's coach, leading her in the prep. So we all three of us work together, getting her ready for the show, and we'll do that again this time around. So that being said, let's jump into some lat pull down. One thing I like to make sure I'm doing with my pull downs is working from the stretched position, and then when I'm coming down to the bottom, I'm jumping right back into the eccentric. I'm not pausing at the bottom. I'm using the stretch at the top to really open up the muscle, stretch the lat out, and then coming straight down and then going nice and slow right into my next rep and controlling the eccentric. Again, working that big stretch. Now that our lats are pretty activated, I'd say, we're gonna go right into our pull-ups. We'll probably use the Gravitron or bands just so we can ensure proper range of motion as well as form. And again, same thing. I would say my philosophy for pull-ups, very similar to the pull-down, working that stretch position, pulling up and then controlling that eccentric, right back into it and going back in. So let's just jump right into it.
What I like so much about this machine here versus banded pull-ups is that you can set the weight so that it's still challenging but doable. And then what's positive about that is you can really pull from the lats. So when we're in that full stretch here, I think about pulling with those. So I'll retract first, then pull from them, and you should be able to feel it, and that'll keep you from using your hands and your biceps to pull versus using your back with the pull-up.
Before anybody starts chirping, because I'm using wrist wraps for pull-ups, I have Crohn's, so my joints suck. I have no grip strength whatsoever, so that's why I'm using them. So before you start chirping in the comments, there's a reason for it. We just finished up with pull-ups. Lats are most definitely engaged, working. So now we're gonna transition into Smith machine bent over rows. I like to switch it up between Smith machine and barbell. Personally, I find I get way better back activation. I can feel this way more. I don't get any discomfort in my lower back either. Not to say that barbell is inefficient, because it is, but I just personally like doing this once in a while. I find with this, I can really retract forward, opening up my back, and then really contracting at the top. Again, working from the stretched position. And I also like it because on this Smith machine specifically, depending on what kind you have, you're able to go almost right to the floor. Again, allowing for that big stretch. So Sam's just loading up, and then we'll get it going. All right, we're on to our last working set here. I'm gonna shoot for 8 to 10. With this rep range, what I try and do is, like, if I fail at, let's say 6, who says I can't take a 2-second breather and bang out another 2 to 4 sets or reps, depending how I'm feeling. So I don't mind taking that little breather in between. It just gives me an opportunity to get more reps in with proper form. I could bang out a few extra reps during that set without taking a break. It'd probably get a little ugly. So why not just take that breather and then get some good clean reps, obviously activating more muscle instead of just throwing the weight around. Now we're working.
So we are finishing off with our last exercise here, and we're gonna be supersetting single arm dumbbell rows with those cable lat pull downs. 4 cues in that for your single arm dumbbell rows. Very similar concept. As with all back training, it's all about that stretch and that squeeze. So one thing I wanna talk about is where you should be driving that dumbbell. So we're not doing this T-Rex arm kind of position. So you can see my shoulder's gonna roll forward and I'm gonna get it in the trap. So we wanna pull, I like to think stretch forward and pull hand to hip. So I'm kind of scooping that dumbbell backwards and rocking with it versus pulling it straight up to here. We're not gonna target those lats down here if we're pulling up really high. I like a nice wide bar because I want nice wide lats. No, the reason for it is I can grip it a little bit wider, and then instead of thinking just arms straight down and into you, I like to think about flaring my lats first, so I kind of get my elbows out a little bit, get those popping, and then pull from them. So pulling into hips, and as I'm letting this bar out, I'm really stretching, so I'm reaching forward. And then I'm thinking elbows down to the floor and then scooping back into my hips. Nice tight core here. I don't want to be too arched. I want to kind of keep my rib cage tucked down, belly button in, and then just pull from those lats. If you find that you're getting it a little bit too much into the triceps, you probably have a bend into the arm. I see this a lot. People start with straight arms, and then because if it's too heavy, they'll bend into their elbow, and then that's going to get the triceps involved. So nice straight arms. Think a piece of paper right here, and you want to trap that piece of paper so that no one can pull it out.
If you want to increase your strength by 10% in pretty much any of your training, you have to wear an NWO t-shirt. There's no question, it's easy. No, all jokes aside, train hard, train with intent, keep your form on point, and just make sure you're working hard in the gym. So that's the key components to it all. So that's it from me. Sam, if you got any other points, add them in. What's on you? Come on. No, I'm just joking. Anyways, okay. Take that back. Sam does have one last point to add in, so it's yours.
It'll improve as we go through this. A little bit nervous and that, I don't know what for, but I just wanted to touch on how excited I am to do this, and mostly because this is going to be coming from not only like my coaches are males and that, right? But I can talk about from a female perspective. I've been training for over 12 years now, and I'm trying to look like this. I'm trying to get as jacked as possible. It's not easy. Ladies, you need to train hard. You need to train heavy. Don't be afraid of getting too bulky. Again, I want to look like this, and it doesn't happen easily. You need everything to come together. You need that nutrition, the hard training, follow the plan.